Hi guys, in this video we are going to be painting Ron. Make sure you have your paint out and ready. You can leave it in your cups or, scoop a little bit out onto your plate, doesn't matter. Here I have my plate. It's a little it's left over if I just painted Harry, but I still have lots left, so there's no sense in me getting more. You need the brushes. I've got 3 different sizes. I've got a big one, a medium one, and a small one. If you don't have those, that's fine. Whatever you have, I'm sure you can make do with. My jar of water, just to keep my brushes when I'm not using them, and to clean them out when I need to switch colors. And then also just have a towel, a little paper towel or a napkin. You can just blot your brushes dry after you clean them in your jar. So to get started, I'm just gonna do Ron's face. And to make the face color, I'm going to be using my bigger brush just because this space is very large. And the color of his skin is very, very light flesh tone. So you do just a little bit of your burnt orange color and you're going to stir in with a lot of your white to make this very pale, like peach fleshy color. And it's very, very pale. Lots of white stirred in. Just make sure you make enough to fill in the whole face. And I'm just gonna go right in and paint right to where the scarf is. Whoa, I had a big old blob of orange on my brush still. I'm just gonna blend that out so it's not that dark, just in that one spot, and it's spread out a little bit more. Going around the eyes, you can just lightly go over the mouth. I mean, you can still see it, just very lightly with your brush, very little paint on your brush. Dang it. Okay, just gonna cover that up, smooth it out. I'm gonna come up around his hairline. My paint isn't a flat tone of the same shade. And that's just because I had a lot of that burnt orange stuck in my brush. I didn't stir it in very well. I'm just spreading it out the best I can. Going around his eyeballs. I have his whole face filled in. Nice, smooth, even paint. Okay, so next I'm gonna do Ron's hair, and he's got red hair. I'm not gonna clean out my brush because the color that we're using next is this orangey color. So I'm going to just be, and it's okay that I have that light color in my brush because it's just gonna blend through the hair. So as I work, I'm just gonna be adding in little bits of white. Just a little. You don't want him to have peach hair. You still want it to be this nice bright orange, carroty color. Just do nice, thin, even coat of paint to even out your strokes. Just do long strokes, best you can. Anytime you pick your brush up and put it back down, it leaves a mark. So the best way to kind of avoid that happening is just edge to edge, just make your brush go nice and smooth and a single stroke. So I kind of get the paint on And then I go back in and swoosh it around to kind of make my strokes nicer. I'm gonna add just a little bit more white. It's very little bits of white. I'm just working on smoothing out my brush strokes. And if you are having a hard time getting all your brush strokes smooth out, just let it dry. I won't do another coat, but feel free to do another coat, and that will help fill in any streaks you have. So there's his hair. My next step is going to be the scarf. I'll do all the yellow stripes first, and then all the black stripes, or not black stripes, red stripes. So I'm just gonna use maybe my medium-sized brush. I could probably do my big brush. Yeah, I'm gonna do my big brush. The bigger brush that you use, the less brush strokes that get left behind, so you have a smoother paint finish. But if you're, if you are nervous about using a big brush in kind of a small area, absolutely use your smaller brush. Use what makes you comfortable. So my first stripe, I'm gonna do red. I'll leave that alone. And I'm just gonna come over and do this one yellow. Skip the next one. Do this one yellow. I'll skip the next one, do this one yellow. Then down here where it's overlapped, kind of folded down, I'll do the very first stripe yellow. Kind of got a little sloppy there, but that's okay because the red covers the yellow very well. And I have just this little bit of a stripe at the bottom. So I'm gonna clean up my brush and I'll go in with my red paint and do the other stripes. Now the red does take 2 coats. So just when you're doing your first coat, just nice, even, thin layer. Don't try to glob it on to make it cover. Just be patient. You'll do the first coat, and then when it's dry, we'll go back in and do the second coat. I'm just getting my brush cleaned and dried off. And now with the red. I did get a little sloppy right there on the bottom, but that's okay because this whole little piece here is going to be painted black and I can cover that right up. Just be very careful at the top because the peach color doesn't cover these bright colors very well. If you do happen to slop it up into the face, just let it dry. Or if it's still very wet, you can take a damp towel to it and wipe off as much as you can. Then make sure it's dry. You'll cover it with a little bit of white paint. Let that dry, and if you can still see the color through the white paint, another layer. You're just gonna layer the white on until you can't see the color that you want to get rid of. Just so long as it's not showing through anymore. And then go ahead and cover that white with the color the area is supposed to be. So you're just blocking out the color with the white. Otherwise, it will show through. And I just have one more stripe down here. It's kind of awkward. I'm just gonna rotate. Oops, I stuck my thumb in yellow. That's all right. That's gonna be black. So I have all the stripes on the scarf done. Next, I'm gonna do the black on the bottom, where his like little shirt is. I'm letting my red dry. I will go back and do another coat of that. But while that's drying, I'm just gonna fill in that bottom part black. Just take your time on your edges. I'm gonna flip it so I can reach better at the bottom. So I can get this line. And there I have his little shirt all filled in. I'm gonna keep using black. I'm gonna fill in the eyes. I'm just gonna fill the whole thing in black. I'm using a smaller brush and just as best I can, I'm gonna keep a circle shape and just get that all filled in. You're gonna wanna cover your pencil marks. Try not to have those showing. Spread out any globs. So there's one eye. I'm just spreading out any thick paint. And my second eye. gonna use my smallest brush and do his mouth. And just a little bit of black paint on my little brush. I'm just gonna go right over top of that pencil mark. He just has a little smile. And I need the eyes to dry. I have another step on the eye. We're gonna be painting a white circle inside as like a reflective light. While those are drying, I'm gonna come back here and double up my layer on my red stripes. And that just will make them nice and bright. I'm gonna use a smaller brush this time. And again, just be careful on your edges. You don't want to slop where you can't cover easily. Just nice, thin, even coat of paint. Try to get some of those pink-like streaks filled in. That one looks much better now. Be careful, this is probably still wet down there where we just painted black. Don't get that on your hand, up your arm. I have a bad habit of when I do it, I don't realize I do it. And then I go and rest my hand somewhere else and that paint transfers on where it does not belong. That was because of wet paint there that I grabbed with my brush. I'm just gonna, well, that didn't work. So I'm just gonna wipe that off with my damp towel. Just kind of blot it. Let's get the black out. I'm gonna leave that one alone for a minute. I want that to dry nice. That little light spot where I peeled the first layer off is gonna be a little bit tricky to cover. I should have cleaned my brush on, I suppose. It has black all in it. So while you're working, just be careful you're not grabbing the wet black paint from the edges of his shirt. Maybe just give it a few more minutes to dry. That's sticky. I'm gonna blast it with my blow dryer just to make sure it's dry. Okay, so I can get that covered, another coat, much better. Can't even tell I got black all in it. Not too bad. Okay, my second coat of red looks good. And I did blow dry my eyes while I had that out because I want to put a white circle. If your eyes are not dry, just sit tight for a minute, let them dry. You definitely need them dry before you do this step. I'm just going to be making little white circles inside of the eye. Make sure you have whatever brush you decide, probably a small brush. You want that nice and clean. You don't want any red paint or black or any other color in it because we're going to be using white. Tiny bit of white on my brush. And I'm going to be putting these circles in the same spot on both eyes. It's just a little bitty circle. It's like reflective light. Try to make them the same size. Circles are tricky. So there, now we have Ron. He is complete. go ahead and sign your names. I like to sign down here in this lower corner. I'll just make a dark gray color. Dark gray, I'm just gonna take a little bit of white and with quite a bit of black. I wanna be able to see it, but I don't want it to show up super bold. Like my eye is attracted to the signature as soon as I look at the painting. I want it to be subtle. I'm also gonna add a little water in, helps the flow of the paint. That way I can get my name written in one swoop. And there we go, all done. When you are finished, if you would please take pictures of your finished work. I have a post on my Facebook page, Willy-Nilly. It's pinned right to the top where you can share your artwork. I love seeing them. Also, you can see everybody else's work that have posted, which that's kind of fun also. Thank you guys very much, and I'll see you in the next video. Hi guys, sorry, I shut off that video and I realized I forgot one step on Ron. He needs freckles. So using your orange color that you did the hair, I'm going to show you just a second. I'm using my small brush and using this orange color, just a little bit of white. You still want it to be, you know, darkish. Just lightening it up a little bit. I'm going to give him a little patch of 3 freckles on both sides. So 1, 2, 3. Then on the other side, 1, 2, 3. There. Now Ron is complete. Sign your names. You probably already did. I don't know. I'm sorry that I missed that bit, but no harm, no foul. I can just add this little clip on to the end of the video. Thank you for watching. See you in the next one.